节目是由 Dodo 主要赞助播出 ，Dodo 让您在去中心化交易所越交易越轻松。预知更多详情，请浏览官网 app.dodoex.io。Hi guys, welcome back to TALKCHAIN channel. I'm Choco, the host of today's AMA. So today we have invited one of the earliest Malaysia crypto adopters to our channel, and he is also the founder of Bitcoin Malaysia. Let us welcome Mr. Colbert Low. Hi Colbert, do you mind to introduce yourself a little bit to our audience today?
Yeah, hi. My name is Colbert Low. So currently I am based in Kuala Lumpur, and basically I am a Malaysian, and I've been actually dabbling and been in the so-called cryptocurrency scene and blockchain scene since 2012.
Oh, so you got into crypto in the year of 2012. That is like really very early. Can you tell us a little bit about the idea of Bitcoin Malaysia? Because we know that you are the founder of Bitcoin Malaysia.
Yeah, so basically it's a community, and back then it was just a blog. So I had some simple updates on what was going in the industry, the ecosystem, what were the challenges. Back then there was like a big forum called Bitcoin Talk, and a lot of the so-called traders and Bitcoin miners were in there, and you can actually see even like updates on other projects like Ethereum. Back then they had their ICO, and most of the people were on forums, and there were not many so-called conferences like the ones in USA. There was one in Singapore back in 2013. So right now the things have changed.
So other than Bitcoin Malaysia, what are you working on right now?
Okay, so basically I'm actually helping a company. So we are actually trying to apply for the initial exchange offering platform license from Securities Commission Malaysia, and a lot of the players have actually applied for it, and right now we are just actually waiting for the so-called Securities Commission to go through with all the interviews with all the players.
Is there any challenge, or what are the challenges that you are facing in the current industry that you are working with?
Basically there's like two main problems right now. So one is probably liquidity, and that is an issue in any market, in any financial market. So some people say that if it's a security token and you have assets actually behind the token itself, so how do you make sure those actually assets are liquid enough, basically, because they are sometimes pegged to the blockchain token, and sometimes liquidity is an issue. And second, I think maybe sometimes security is also another issue, because when it comes to security, everyone is responsible for security. For the users, they are responsible to actually maintain security by keeping it safe from hackers, but a lot of them don't even install antivirus. They don't actually keep PIN numbers to themselves. So you will see a lot fake admins coming to you and sending you a message saying that I can help you, do you have a problem? So not just on the user side, even for like companies, they get attacked on a daily basis or every hour. So security is also a main issue. So cybersecurity is something that is actually a worrying trend for everybody, not just in a blockchain system, but actually for everyone on the internet.
I see. That's just like a global thing, right? So what do you think about Malaysia's blockchain industry? Like, I think security is one of the problem as well. Other than that, is there anything that you think it can be improved in Malaysia crypto industry?
When it comes to the talent pool, I think right now people are still trying to see whether but from what we see right now, like a lot of developers are getting high pay. You work for, let's say, US based companies or European companies. So if you're Malaysian and you can work remotely, of course that will be actually a suitable situation, MCO, and right now so everyone is working from home. So if you get yourself, let's say, hired by a company, let's say in UK, which actually a few of the Malaysians, they get a nice pay. When it comes to talent, everyone is actually rushing for talent and trying to look for talent right now. And of course, let's say there are other players in Malaysia like Blockline. They have actually trained like 3,000 professionals and developers in this space. But I think like the blockchain industry is growing really fast. There's a lot of demand, and we need more developers to actually learn about this technology. And of course, like I say, right now in Johor, there's a so-called company that is actually going together with the Johor state government to actually train more blockchain developers, whether it's on the full stack or whether it's front end or back end. So that's actually a good thing to do. And right now that project is called Blockchain Village at Medini, and I see that actually the lack of talent actually in the industry is also a big problem right now. Yeah.
Do you think universities and like colleges should start doing some blockchain related courses?
Yeah, over the past like 4 years, I've seen some colleges actually trying to prepare the so-called curriculum and then sending it over to the education ministry. There were a few universities that actually I talked to, and right now currently for this year, because everyone's in lockdown and staying at home, so we see actually some universities coming in and creating these so-called blockchain clubs and cryptocurrency clubs. The latest one actually we got in touch is actually in APU side. So they have their so-called cryptocurrency Literacy Club. So we are actually helping APU to actually educate the so-called lecturers and basically how the whole thing works, and then we're getting them in touch with other universities around the world because they have, let's say, hackathons with all these so-called famous companies, and they provide grants and they provide, let's say, prizes for all these students and to come up with greater ideas.
May I know what is your current investment or focus in blockchain industry other than Bitcoin?
Yeah, actually right now I'm spending a lot of time, especially if you follow me on Twitter. So I'm looking at things like NFT. So NFT is non-fungible tokens and they are unique tokens. When it comes to Bitcoin, they are what we call fungible. So that means the first Bitcoin is actually having the so-called same characteristics or same value as the second Bitcoin. It doesn't matter whether it's an old Bitcoin or new Bitcoin. But when it comes to unique tokens like NFTs or non-fungible tokens, there's actually metadata that actually tells you what was the actually creation date of that token itself and who is the creator of the token and who are the current owners of the token. And actually you can sell these tokens on the secondary market, basically like OpenSea and Rarible, and there's actually a few new companies and new projects, even other blockchains like Cardano and Solana. There's one called Solana Art that even actually drove up the price of Solana coins recently. So basically NFT is a new space that everyone's looking at right now, and actually a convergence between say traditional artists and what we call the current artists in the space.
It's more like connecting art to blockchain, means connecting blockchain to the real world, isn't it? It's kind of like there's a bridge there.
Yeah, so basically it's like, because everyone is stuck at home with lockdown, so in a way like a lot of kids right now, they are playing games like Roblox, and there's a lot of interesting NFT games like Axie Infinity right now. So when you create that so-called reality, it's called the metaverse, the virtual universe, or the virtual reality thing. And of course most of them call it metaverse, so most of the gamers are going online right now, and I see a lot of projects going that way.
True. I'm also playing X Infinity, so yeah, it's very interesting. It's something that everyone can do it, even kids, even my sister 14 years old, she's playing that as well. So when we talk about NFT, may I know what was your first NFT, like which one you first purchased among all the NFTs?
Okay, so the problem with me, if I come in as a user and investor, of course I'll be wondering, there's so many NFT projects, so which one should I choose? Because sometimes we have limited resources. Maybe we don't want to spend one Ethereum on one NFT because one Ethereum is like $3,000. That would be crazy, right? It's like I would rather buy a physical product and put it behind my wall. So of course I was actually looking around the internet and looking at Twitter and Facebook and trying to find free NFTs because there's a lot of giveaways, there's a lot of contests. So actually I have a few of that back then. So I started playing around with that like since last year, 2020.
Also, people are saying that bull market is coming. So how do you see the current crypto market actually?
Currently, the market capitalization for cryptocurrency is only around $2 trillion in US dollars. So I see there's still probably upside. If you follow, let's say, the prominent influencers and guys on actually YouTube like Michael Saylor, Raoul Paul and all that. So like even like Willy Woo, so he does a lot of so-called analysis of, let's say, the crypto market, especially for Bitcoin prices. So I think there's still a lot of upside, and hopefully after the so-called summer time, we are moving towards the quarter 3 and quarter 4. So we probably see more buying pressure and buying demand, and together with maybe NFT demand, that could actually push up the price for a lot of these so-called coins and tokens like Ethereum and Solana. So we see a lot of upside.
This is the last question. If there's one advice that you could give to the newbies who want to enter the blockchain industry, what would you say to them?
Yeah, try to follow all the so-called good investors and guys in all those large venture capital funds, because right now I see a lot of venture capital guys coming in and buying up all these NFTs like CryptoPunks and Etherrocks. And basically like there's a new project called Parallel, and they have actually big budgets to buy up all these NFTs. You should follow them on Twitter, especially Twitter, because Twitter is the best way to get all the updates. So you need to follow them and maybe join some of the Discord groups. There's also a lot of what we call NFT collector groups on Discord. You can easily find them on Twitter. There's so many actually. So it really depends on how much time you want to spend in front of the monitor.
Yeah, so thank you Colbert for your time, your sharing and your insightful information today. We really appreciate it. So I believe this AMA will be useful for the crypto community in Malaysia as well as the newbies in cryptocurrency. So don't forget to follow and subscribe our channel, TALKCHAIN, for more crypto related content, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.
感谢位于新加坡的10大合约交易平台之一冰棒联合赞助播出。感谢马来西亚持牌合规数字资产交易所 TOKCHAIN Exchange 联合赞助播出。感谢迅速发展的加密货币衍生品交易所之一的 Bybit 联合赞助播出。感谢亚洲发展最快的一站式加密金融服务平台 MatrixPort 联合赞助播出。感谢位于新加坡的全球领先加密货币合约交易所 BitTop 联合赞助播出。